Cipla, it was under pressure, but it's recovered from the low point of the day. There have been 4 observations that, in fact, the management has set, but it appears that it's more procedural in nature. Ekta's with us. Ekta, tell us, what does this exactly mean? The stock has recovered a good bit from the lows.
Yes, well, I must say that there seems to be a couple of inspectors, that's what I understand from my sources, who've come from the US FDA, and there are multiple inspections which are going on for a couple of plants. So we heard that from Alchem, where they issued the observations, or 13 observations yesterday or last evening, in particular for their Daman facility, and now we understand that Cipla's Goa facility was inspected last week itself. So there was that buzz. The reason why the stock, in fact, has recovered is because of the reasons you mentioned, Nigel, is that they have mentioned that there were 4 observations which were given by the US FDA, and secondly, the management has said that they are procedural in nature. I wouldn't put so much emphasis on procedural in nature as far as unless you get the 483s in your hand, unless you get them assessed by an external party, it's very difficult to assess the seriousness of how the 483s might be read by the US FDA. Even if it's procedural in nature, doesn't mean that they would be entirely happy and you can comply with it immediately. But the fact is that there are only 4 483s which have been issued. So compare that to 13 which have been issued for Alchem's facility, and Alchem too said that they were procedural in nature, and the stock is down 7%. The reason that Cipla has recovered is because there are 4 observations which have been issued, plus the management has not gone outright and said they are data integrity issues. They are procedural in nature. Separately, you can't take away from the fact that this is important because the Goa facility is in fact the most important facility for Cipla when it comes to the US operations, when you're talking about India as a whole. The other piece of Cipla's US business is the recent acquisition, which is Invigen, and totally that is around 18% of total sales. So yes, it's a negative, but we will wait by and have to see what those observations do entail.